The rain hammered the windows of our cramped sophomore dorm like it was trying to drown out the party downstairs, but nothing could wash away the knot in my stomach as I stared at Jordan's back. He'd just finished telling me, again, that my little crush on him was the funniest thing he'd heard all week, his laugh echoing louder than the bass thumping through the floorboards. In that split second, as his shoulders shook with amusement, I realized loving someone who saw you as a punchline wasn't just heartbreaking. It was a slow poison seeping into every corner of who I was. I slammed the door to our bathroom a little too hard, the sound lost in the storm, and gripped the sink until my knuckles whitened. Jordan was my best friend, the guy who dragged me to frat parties when I was too scared to go alone, the one who'd split his last protein bar with me after a brutal exam week. But tonight, after one too many shots of cheap tequila, I'd let the words slip. Dude, what if I actually like you? Like you. His response, a belly laugh that made my chest cave in, followed by a playful shove. Alex, come on, you're my bro. That's hilarious. Hilarious. Right. Downstairs, the party raged on. Our floor's annual midterm survival bash, complete with red Solo cups and a playlist that skipped from top 40 to throwbacks. I splashed cold water on my face, avoiding the mirror because I knew what I'd see. The same 20-year-old kid from suburban Ohio, with messy brown hair and eyes that betrayed too much. Coming out in high school had been a war, whispers in hallways, my dad's disappointed sighs over dinner, but college was supposed to be different. NYU's Village campus promised reinvention, a bubble of acceptance amid New York's chaos. Instead, it felt like I was still hiding, especially from the straight jock who shared my space and my secrets. When I finally emerged, Jordan was sprawled on his bed, scrolling through his phone, oblivious to the thunder rumbling outside. You good, man? He asked without looking up, his voice casual, like he hadn't just gutted me. I forced a nod, grabbing my jacket. Yeah, just need air. Lies were easier than truths with him. As I headed for the door, he tossed a half-empty water bottle my way. Don't do anything stupid. And hey, that crush thing? We cool. You're like my gay little brother. The words landed like a slap, but I caught the bottle and bolted before he could see the crack in my smile. The hallway was a blur of laughter and spilled beer, bodies spilling out from room 204 like it was the last party before the apocalypse. I wove through, nodding at familiar faces, Sarah from lit class, nursing a drink with her girlfriend Mia, Tyler, the theater kid who'd once drunkenly proposed to me as a joke. But my eyes scanned for escape, landing on the stairwell that led to the rooftop. It was against rules, sure, but on nights like this, rules were the least of my worries. Up top, the rain had eased to a drizzle, the city skyline glittering like a promise I couldn't quite reach. I leaned against the chain-link fence, breathing in the wet concrete scent mixed with distant hot dog vendors from Washington Square. That's when I heard footsteps, light, hesitant, not Jordan's heavy stride. Alex, that you brooding up here? It was Liam, the quiet transfer from California who'd joined our floor a month ago. Tall, with that effortless surfer vibe, blonde hair perpetually tousled, green eyes that seemed to see right through pretenses. He'd been a mystery until last week's group study session, where he'd casually mentioned his ex-boyfriend over pizza. Queer solidarity, instant. Couldn't hack the chaos, he said, sliding next to me, his shoulder brushing mine in a way that sent a spark I wasn't ready for. Something like that, I muttered, staring at the Empire State Building's glow. Liam didn't push, just pulled out a crumpled pack of gum and offered me a piece. We chewed in silence for a minute, the kind that felt companionable, not awkward. You know, he said finally, voice low against the wind, parties like this? They're great for forgetting, but terrible for feeling. I glanced at him, surprised. His face was soft in the city lights, a faint scar above his eyebrow catching the gleam. Yeah? What's your poison tonight? He shrugged, a small smile tugging his lips. Old habits. Crushes that go nowhere. Our eyes met, and for a heartbeat, the air thickened, like maybe he wasn't just talking about himself. But then voices drifted up from below, and the moment shattered. Come on, he said, nudging me. Let's grab a real drink. There's a dive bar off campus that doesn't card. I hesitated, Jordan's laugh still echoing in my head, but Liam's easy grin pulled me in. What the hell? As we descended, I didn't notice the figure pausing at the stairwell door, Jordan, beer in hand, his expression unreadable in the shadows. The bar was a hole-in-the-wall called the Rusty Anchor, tucked between a laundromat and a bodega in the East Village. Neon signs buzzed overhead, casting red hues on sticky tables, and the jukebox crooned some forgotten Springsteen track. Liam ordered us whiskeys neat, like we were old souls, and we claimed a corner booth away from the afterwork crowd. To surviving midterms, he toasted, clinking glasses. The burn down my throat steadied me, chasing away the raw edge of the night. We talked, really talked, for hours. Liam opened up about his move east, parents who loved him but didn't get him, a high school boyfriend who'd bailed when things got real. I thought college would fix it, he said, tracing the rim of his glass. New start, new me. But it's the same heartaches, just with better coffee. I nodded, spilling my own mess, small-town isolation, the relief of New York, and yeah, the roommate who treated my feelings like a sitcom plot. I skipped the details, but Liam's gaze sharpened. Sounds like he's scared. Straight guys do that. Laugh to keep the mirror from cracking. His words hung there, wise beyond his 21 years, and I felt seen in a way that made my chest ache. By the second round, the bar felt like ours, laughter bubbling up as he mimicked his poli-sci prof's nasally drone. When he leaned in to whisper a dumb joke, his breath warm on my ear, I didn't pull away. It was innocent, electric, the kind of flirtation that whispered possibilities without demanding them. We stumbled back to campus around 2, arms linked against the chill, the streets alive with cabs and late-night wanderers. At the dorm entrance, Liam paused, his hand lingering on my arm. Hey, Alex. You're cute when you let your guard down. Like, really cute. The words landed soft, genuine, no punchline attached. My face heated, a shy grin breaking free. Yeah? Well, you're not so bad yourself, California. He chuckled, squeezing my arm before heading inside. Night, cutie. I watched him go, heart pounding in that hopeful, terrifying way. For the first time that night, Jordan's laugh felt distant, replaceable. But as I pushed open the door to our room, reality crashed back. Jordan was awake, sitting up in bed with his laptop balanced on his knees, the screen's glow carving shadows across his face. Where the hell you been? His tone was off, sharp, not the usual teasing lilt. I shrugged off my jacket, aiming for nonchalance. Out. Met a friend. He closed the laptop with a snap, eyes narrowing. That blonde guy? Saw you two on the stairs. Looked cozy. There was an edge there, something brittle, but I was too buzzed on whiskey and what-ifs to parse it. Liam? Yeah, he's cool. We just talked. Jordan snorted, flopping back against his pillows. Talked. Right. Don't let your crushes get you in trouble, bro. The word crushed me anew, but I bit back the retort, climbing into bed and killing the light. In the dark, his breathing evened out slow, but mine raced. What was that in his voice? Annoyance? Protectiveness? Or just the roommate code, keeping things straight, literally? I rolled over, staring at the ceiling cracks, wondering if Liam's cute could rewrite the script I'd been stuck in. Morning light sliced through the blinds like Judgment Day, pulling me from a dream where Jordan's laugh turned to whispers. My head throbbed, whiskey's revenge, and the room smelled of stale pizza from last night's forgotten box. Jordan was already up, lacing his sneakers for a run, his broad shoulders flexing under a faded Mets tee. Rise and shine, sleepyhead, he called, tossing a Gatorade my way. You look like crap. Thanks, I groaned, catching it and chugging half. He smirked, but it didn't reach his eyes. So this Liam dude. He always hit on freshmen. The question was casual, but his gaze lingered, probing. I sat up, sheets pooling around my waist. Sophomores, actually. And he wasn't hitting on me. We were just hanging. Jordan tied his laces tighter than necessary, the leather creaking. Uh-huh. Look, I get it. College is wild. But you're my roommate, man. I don't want you getting hurt by some player. There it was again, that protective streak, wrapped in assumption. It should have warmed me, but instead, it stung like dismissal. I'm not a kid, Jordan. I can handle my own heart. He stood, towering for a second before ruffling my hair like I was 12. I know. Just looking out. Then he was gone, door clicking shut, leaving me with the echo of his words and a gnawing doubt. Was he worried for me, or about me? About us? Class that afternoon was a blur. Intro to Psych, where Dr. Hale droned about cognitive dissonance, the mental gymnastics we do to hold conflicting beliefs. Fitting. My notes devolved into doodles, a stick figure me confessing, Jordan laughing, Liam's easy smile superimposed. After, I bumped into Sarah in the quad, her rainbow pin glinting in the weak November sun. You okay? You look like you wrestled a ghost. We grabbed coffee at the campus cafe, steam rising from our mugs like unspoken secrets. Sarah was a godsend, openly bi, fierce advocate, the one who dragged me to my first Pride rally freshman year. Over lattes, I unloaded. The confession, the laugh, Liam's compliment. She listened, chin propped on her hand, then leaned in. Jordan's straight-passing armor is cracking, Alex. That looking out bit? Classic deflection. But Liam? Sounds promising. Don't let one dude's denial eclipse a real spark. Her words stuck as I texted Liam later. Coffee tomorrow? His reply buzzed back instant. Hell yes. 2 p.m., being seen. With a winky emoji that made my stomach flip. Progress. But evening brought complication. Jordan burst into the room post-practice, sweat-slicked and euphoric, basketball under his arm. Dude, we crushed pickup. You should have seen. He stopped, spotting my phone. Who you grinning at? Liam. I admitted, pocketing it. Jordan's face flickered. Something quick, unnameable, before he recovered with a grin. Crush number 2. Living the dream. He stripped off his shirt, tossing it in the hamper, and I averted my eyes from the familiar lines of his body, the tattoo of a compass on his ribcage I'd teased him about 100 times. It's not like that. We're friends. Friends who call you cute. The words hung, casual but pointed. I froze. How'd you? Heard him on the stairs last night. Loudmouth. Jordan grabbed a towel, heading for the shower, but paused at the door. Just be careful, okay? Not everyone's as chill as me. The door shut, water hissing on, and I sank onto my bed, pulse racing. He'd overheard. And instead of the expected ribbing, there was. What? Caution? Jealousy? The lines were blurring, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to redraw them or erase them entirely. That night, sleep evaded me. Jordan's snores filled the room, steady as a metronome, while my mind replayed snippets. His laugh, Liam's warmth, Sarah's advice. By dawn, resolve hardened. I'd chase the light, not the shadow. But as Jordan mumbled in his sleep, my name, soft and indistinct, I wondered if the shadow had a heartbeat after all. The bean scene was a cozy nook off Broadway. All exposed brick and mismatched chairs, the air thick with espresso and indie folk tunes. Liam was already there when I arrived, 2 steaming cups on the table, his smile lighting up like he'd been waiting for this all week. Black, 2 sugars, hope I nailed it. He pushed one toward me, and I slid into the seat across, the simple gesture feeling like a win. You did. Stalker much? I teased, sipping. He laughed, that easy sound that loosened something in my chest. We fell into rhythm, stories of bad dates. His, a guy who quoted Nietzsche mid-kiss. Mine, a theater kid who staged a breakup scene. Dreams for postgrad. Him, screenwriting in LA. Me, undecided, maybe journalism. With Liam, there were no eggshells, no punchlines at my expense. Just presence. Midway through, his foot nudged mine under the table. Accidental, intentional, and neither of us moved it. So, he said, eyes twinkling, tell me more about this roommate. The one who laughed. I hesitated, stirring my dregs. Jordan, we've been tight since orientation. He's complicated, straight as an arrow, but lately, it's like he's orbiting too close. Liam nodded, thoughtful. Sounds like he's figuring stuff out. Or you both are. His hand brushed mine then, deliberate, thumb tracing a light circle on my knuckle. Heat bloomed, sweet and tentative. And what about you, Alex? What do you want? The question pinned me, raw. Someone who sees me. All of me. Our gazes locked, the cafe fading to white noise. He squeezed my hand. I see you. We lingered until closing, walking back arm in arm, the autumn leaves crunching underfoot like confetti. At the dorm steps, he pulled me into a hug, firm, lingering, his chin resting on my head. Text me later? Count on it. I whispered, pulling back with a grin that felt real. But euphoria soured the second I hit our floor. Jordan was in the lounge, sprawled on the couch with Tyler and a few others, a basketball game flickering on the TV. He spotted me, waving me over. Alex, get in here. Knicks are killing it. His energy was forced, eyes flicking to my flushed cheeks. I joined, perching on the armrest, but tension hummed. Tyler, ever the instigator, nudged me. Where you been, lover boy? That glow says date. The group chuckled, light, but Jordan's jaw tightened. Yeah, with your new buddy? I shrugged. Coffee. Nothing big. Nothing big, he echoed, tossing a chip into his mouth. Cool. The word was clipped, and Tyler shot me a look, subtle, questioning. Conversation shifted to the game, but Jordan's commentary grew sharper, elbows jostling mine harder than necessary. When I checked my phone, a text from Liam. Thinking of you. A pang hit. This was jealousy, wasn't it? From the guy who'd laughed off my confession. Later, back in the room, it boiled over. Jordan paced as I unpacked my bag, the silence thick. You and Liam, it's fast, man. You sure he's not just playing the field? I turned, heat rising. Why do you care? You made it clear I'm not your type. He stopped, hands raking through his hair. Because you're my best friend, idiot. I don't want you hurt. But his eyes, dark, stormy, said more, a vulnerability cracking through. And yeah, maybe hearing him call you cute. It bugged me. Felt wrong. Wrong how? I pressed, heart hammering. He deflated, sinking onto his bed. I don't know. Like territory or something. Stupid straight guy crap. The admission hung, fragile. I sat beside him, close but not touching. Jordan, it's okay to feel things, even if they're messy. He looked at me then. Really looked, the space between us electric. Yeah? What if they're messier than I thought? The words trembled out, and time stilled. Was this it, the shift? Or another laugh waiting to drop? We didn't kiss, didn't cross lines. Instead, he clapped my shoulder, standing abruptly. Gotta clear my head. Run. I shook my head. Rain check. He nodded, grabbing his jacket and leaving me with the what-ifs multiplying like shadows. Sarah called that night, her voice a lifeline. Spill. Over speaker, I recounted, Jordan's edge, the almost confession. She whistled. Babe, that's bisexual awakening energy. But don't pause your life for him. Liam's solid. Go for it. Her bi pride shone through, a reminder of the spectrum we navigated. And hey, prejudice alert. My folks are visiting this weekend. Dinner? Bring your drama. They love a good queer tale. I agreed, hanging up with resolve. But as Jordan slipped back in hours later, drenched and quiet, collapsing into bed without a word, doubt crept. Love wasn't a straight line. It twisted, looped, pulled you under. And I was drowning, happily, terrifyingly. The weekend arrived like a whirlwind. Sarah's parents in from Jersey, all khakis and warm hugs, turning our usual dive bar, hang into a semi-respectable Italian spot in Little Italy. Mia, Sarah's girlfriend, had outdone herself with reservations, fairy lights twinkling overhead as plates of carbonara steamed. Liam tagged along, at my invite, his hand finding mine under the table in silent support. Sarah's dad, a burly ex-cop with a rainbow sticker on his wallet, grilled us gently. So, Alex, what's your story? Sarah says you're the heart of the floor. I laughed, launching into sanitized tales, midterms, dorm pranks, skirting the Jordan ache. Liam jumped in seamlessly, his charm disarming, sharing a story about his mom's first Pride March. The table warmed, laughter flowing like Chianti. But midway, my phone buzzed. Jordan, where are you? Party starting without us. I typed back quick. Family dinner W friends. Back soon. His reply with Blondie? Cool. The ellipsis felt loaded. Liam noticed, squeezing my hand. Everything good? Yeah. I murmured, but the spell cracked. Sarah's mom, sensing vibes, leaned in later over tiramisu. Honey, love's a battlefield, but you're too young for trenches. Pick your allies. Her eyes twinkled, maternal and knowing. I nodded, throat tight. Allies. Jordan had been that, until the lines blurred. We wrapped up late, hugs exchanged, Liam walking me back with that quiet steadiness. At the dorm, he stole a kiss, soft, on the cheek, but lingering. You're worth the wait, Alex. I floated inside, only to find Jordan in the lounge, surrounded by the party stragglers, a beer in hand and a scowl that deepened at my entrance. Finally, he drawled, loud enough for the room. Thought you ditched for good. Tyler paused mid-story, eyes darting. Chill, Jay. It's a party. But Jordan ignored him, pulling me aside into the hall. Dinner with the fam? Or date numero 2? Both? I snapped, the whiskey from dinner emboldening me. And what's your problem? You've been a dick all week. His face flushed, voice dropping. My problem? You're moving on like I never mattered. After you dropped that bomb on me. He cut off, glancing away. Forget it. No. I grabbed his arm, pulse sinking. Finish. After I said I liked you? You laughed, Jordan. Laughed. He yanked free, but gently, stormy. I laughed because it scared me. Okay. You're everything. My constant. And if I screw that up? The confession tumbled, raw, his breath ragged. The hallway spun, party noise distant, just us in the fluorescent glow. Jordan, I whispered, hand still on his arm. He stepped closer, forehead nearly touching mine. What if I didn't laugh inside? What if it hit too close? The air charged, possibilities crackling. But then Tyler poked his head out. Yo, lovers quarrel? Beer pong needs refs. The moment shattered, Jordan pulling back with a shaky laugh. Real this time, self-deprecating. Later, man. We talk. Promise. He vanished into the crowd, leaving me reeling. Later came at 4 a.m., when the party's embers died, and we crashed side by side, the space between our beds feeling like an ocean and an inch. Monday brought clarity's cruel light. Classes dragged, Liam's text, missed you at brunch, a bomb, but Jordan's promise loomed. At lunch, I found him in the cafe, poking at a salad like it offended him. Hey. I slid in opposite. He looked up, tired but open. Hey. About last night. We talked, halting at first, then pouring out. His side. The laugh is armor against confusion, whispers of doubt since high school locker room jokes that lingered too long. I thought it was nothing. Bro stuff. But you make me question. Mine, the hurt, the hope, Liam as a safety net. I like him. But you're home. He nodded, slow. I don't know what I am, Alex. But I know I don't want to lose this. Us. No labels, no rush, just honesty, fragile as new ice. We parted with a fist bump, but his eyes held mine longer, a silent vow. That afternoon, prejudice reared, overheard in the quad, two jocks muttering about that gay roomy drama, slurs tossed like litter. It stung, but Sarah rallied us, a floor meeting that night, turning lounge into safe space. Liam spoke, voice steady. Jordan surprised everyone, calling out the bullshit. We're family here. Pride swelled, his growth, our circle tightening. Yet twists waited. Liam pulled me aside post-meeting. Alex, I like you a lot, but I sense unfinished business. Honest, no pressure. Take your time. His grace humbled me, deepening the respect blooming into something steady. Weeks blurred, study sessions with Liam turning flirty, late-night talks with Jordan veering vulnerable. One night, snow dusting the city, we three ended up at the Rusty Anchor, awkward at first, then electric. Beers flowed, stories swapped, Jordan's knee brushing mine under the table, Liam's grin inclusive. No rivalry, just possibility. But climax brewed. Spring break loomed, Jordan's family inviting me home. Suburban Jersey, his dad the stoic type. Come, meet the chaos. I agreed, nerves jangling. Liam's invite to Cali dangled, but Jordan's plea won. Need you there. For real. Jersey was a revelation. Barbecues, his sister's wedding tales, his mom hugging me like kin. But dinner cracked open wounds. His dad, over steak, grumbling about kids these days and their confusions. Jordan tensed, fork pausing. Dad, that's my best friend you're talking about. Silence fell heavy. Then, soft. And maybe more. The table froze. His dad blinked, processing. Son. Jordan met my eyes, then his father's. Yeah, I'm figuring it. With Alex's help. No explosion, just quiet nods. His mom squeezing my hand under the table. Acceptance, tentative, real. Back at NYU, the high lingered. Liam waited, arms open. No jealousy, just proud of you. We kissed then, first time, sweet under quad lamps. While Jordan watched from afar, smiling faint but true. Summer beckoned, paths diverging. Liam to LA internship, Jordan and I subletting the dorm for odd jobs. But bonds held, texts, calls, visits promised. Love wasn't one arc, it was threads weaving, fraying, strengthening. In the end, the laugh that broke me rebuilt us. Crushes evolved, friendships deepened, prejudices chipped away by truths dared spoken. And in New York's endless hum, I learned, the heart's drama isn't in the fall, but the fearless rise.